Hello, hello. Let's see if we are live. Okay, we're live on Facebook. Say hi if that's where you're watching me from. And let me double check we're live on YouTube as well. Okay, we're good to go. We're live on Facebook. Okay. How is everyone? Welcome, welcome. Let me know where you're joining me from. Hi, Diana. Hi, Lisette. Ellen, good morning. Hey, George. Penny, welcome. Lupe, what's up? We still have about 4 minutes to go, but let's just hang out. Tell me where you're joining me from. Hamad, great to see you. And as always, I'm trying out new tech. I feel like a broadcasting technician sometimes when I try to go live streaming because I'm just like hooking up all these different components together. And I literally have like 3 screens. Feels like a semi professional broadcasting studio here. Hello, Danielle. Great to see you. And I hope you guys brought your questions today because I have nothing prepared. Hey, Jackie. I'm good. How are you? I don't know if this light is working for me, but let's just think. Yeah, I think I'm a little overblown. There you go. Just a tiny bit. All right. How's it going, San? Watching from Philippines? Isn't it like 1 or 2 a.m. your time? Very honored that you've decided to spend some time with us here. The success of this live stream is completely up to you guys in terms of what questions I get from you today. Otherwise, the live stream is going to be short. I don't know why I haven't coughed this whole day. And for those of you who are in manifesting code, you'll find that it's not uncommon that just as I start the call that I start coughing. Danielle, 1 a.m. in Perth. Oh, you had to have a nap to catch this. Oh, thank you so much. Too bad I couldn't see you when I was in Melbourne. I had a student she flew to Melbourne to take the certification course with me. And oh my God, I had no idea. Even a domestic flight, so her flight from Perth to Melbourne was $1,800. I was shocked. Like, how are domestic flights so expensive in Australia? Anyway, when she told me on day 3 or day 4 of the course, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You had to spend so much money on the airfare. Not that I had anything to do with it, but obviously it was an investment for her to fly over to take the course. Sorry, I do have a candy in me. I will take it out once we officially start. We still have about a minute to go. I'm seeing questions coming in already. Vishnu Priya. So yeah, you guys can post your questions and I'll go through them. Susan from Wisconsin. You know who watches that 70s show? Wisconsin is where their they're based at, right? And you know, they would have the intro song or whatever, and at the end they say, "Hello, Wisconsin." So that's the moment I said Wisconsin, that thing just kind of popped in my head. So I'm gonna take off my mint, take out my mint. Hey, Donna, Trinity. I know your real name, Trinity, but maybe you don't want me to say it on air. That's fine. I won't. Just getting ready for work. Smiley's Minnesota in the house. Okay, awesome. I don't know why I'm getting blips, but okay. Let's get started. Welcome, welcome. Hello, everyone, to the May live stream. If this is your first time in my live streams, we do try to, well, I want to keep it as engaged and interactive as possible. Whether you're joining me live on Facebook or on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed to either of my platforms, please do, because I do try to do a live stream once a month. And if you're not on my email list, please join my mailing list as well, because you also get an email reminder about when these live streams happen. And usually once a live stream is done, we do some cleaning up of the live stream video, and then the edited parts, you know, the nicer, cleaned up, edited portions will be re-uploaded, and you'll get emailed when that's done as well. Because we're live, sometimes there's a lot of bantering on and off, you know, things like that. So, you know, so the post-edit portion might be to something that you guys would be enjoying as well. All right, so unlike other live streams where I sort of have a topic in mind, this month I don't have a topic. So what I'm going to do instead, and this is not the first time I've done it, is just open the floor to you guys, so to speak, to ask me your questions. And I do apologize, you might you might hear me cough. It's just allergies, and I've got a little bit of, you know, drippage going on post nasally, and that's what's causing the cough. Okay, so plus, like, this office is half off, well, maybe a third office and 2/3 plants. And for someone who has seasonal allergies, like, this citrus plant behind me is flowering, and the smell is gorgeous, but the pollen is getting to me. So, all right. So, and I'm also trying new tech today. So hopefully the tech gods will work with me today for this live stream. Okay. Okay, so first question. Vinushpriya is asking, my Sheng Qi direction is northeast. Can I face the direction this year while working? Now, this is an interesting question, and this tells me, Vishnu Priya, that you've been following the 8 mansions Feng Shui. Now, this might be a little bit of an unpopular opinion, and some people have unsubscribed. They've left my groups because of this unpopular opinion, but this is where I stand. 8 mansions Feng Shui, even though technically it is a classical school of Feng Shui, it is considered one of the most basic. And while it is great to help people kind of get started in Feng Shui, where my direct master have found, and even my grandmasters have found, that the 8 mansion is actually not a very effective way of doing Feng Shui. And 8 mansion is the one that talks about the, you know, the all these supposed 4 good directions and 4 bad directions based on your Gua number, right? How many of you have heard of that term, Gua number, right? So your question being northeast this year, right? Can you face the northeast this year while working? It doesn't matter what Gua number you are if you're still wanting to follow the Gua number, because my school doesn't. The way we use Gua number is very different. You will never find the way we use Gua numbers in any online articles or any books. So we don't use Gua numbers the way you think Gua numbers should be used. But for those of you who are familiar with flying stars Feng Shui, which is the next step up. Flying star Feng Shui is sort of like the intermediate method of Feng Shui. Okay? For those of you who have been following Flying Star Feng Shui, what is the energy in the Northeast? Vishnu, you probably already know the answer, but with live streams, we have people from different levels, different degrees of knowledge. So I'm just needing to, sorry. Give me a second here. My camera is glitching. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. Okay. What is the energy in the Northeast this year? Okay, so give me a second. I'm not sure why it's not. Okay, can you guys see my doodles? Okay, so energy for 2023. Every year, every month, every day has its own energetic pattern, right? So this being the Northeast here, let's say, the energy for Flying Star this year is the number 7. Number 7 is loss, robbery, and robbery can be actual robbery, like of things, right? But robbery can also be robbery of your inspiration, robbery of your opportunities, robbery of your good name, your reputation. Okay. And like office politics. Sorry, my writing's not the best here. Okay. Those are the things that are triggered by number 7. So going back to the question, should Vishnu Priya be facing Northeast? My answer is no. And not just for him or her. Sorry, I couldn't figure out the gender there. No one should be facing Northeast this year, because of the fact that the Northeast has that annual number 7. If you do, you guys, if you're working at, at an office or whatever, check your direction. If you feel like this year, for some reason, you somehow are getting a lot of this, right? A lot of these situations, it's very likely you are facing number 7. Okay? So no one, no matter what your Gua number, okay, no matter what your Gua number, you should not be facing the number 7. All right. Let me go back to the questions. Oh, this is a good one. From YouTube. I have a question about my parent string formation. I don't know how to use it and afraid to use the 258 combination. So those who have taken my certification course, the next round is in July, by the way, if you're interested. Those who took my certification course, put it in the chat. What do I feel about these special formations? If you guys remember, because I know I mentioned it more than once, very passionately, how I feel about that. And actually, Diana, what period is your house? If you could put that in the chat, just clarifying it for me. Okay. Parent string, for those of you who are not familiar with Flying Star, parent string is where your period 8, okay. So parent string is where the numbers in all the 9 boxes are considered auspicious, okay? So for instance, remind me, okay, hold on. Let me draw that out for you guys. So period 8, south 2 or 3, okay. Am I sharing screen? Hold on. I don't know why it's not, hold on. I thought it was south 2, 3. What's your facing, Diana? Oh, am I sharing screen? Sorry. Lots of moving objects here. Share screen. Okay, so okay, northeast 2. Okay, that is her. Yeah. So parent string is basically where all these 9 boxes have a specific formation. And in period 8, northeast 2 homes are concerned, it would be I'm just looking at my charts here, just so I don't have to do all the manual. When you take the certification course, by the way, you will learn how to plot this manually. You don't have to. I know some people like to have calculators, but you also need to know the formula as to why and how the flying stars are calculated. I've flown this way. Okay. So taking a look at this, okay, a period 8 northeast 2 home has, this house has parent string because of 1, 4, 7. Okay, hold on. How many numbers are in flying stars? How many numbers do we have? Put it in the chat. How many numbers are there in flying stars? 9. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and then so the parent string is working off of the premise that the numbers in these boxes, okay, have these special formation 1, 4 groupings, I should say 1, 4, 7. Oh, you guys can't see. Okay, 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. Okay, you can see here 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, 9, 2, 5, 8, 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9, 2, 5, 8, 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, 9. All 9 boxes must have these specific groupings in order to qualify for parent string. Oh, we still have the timer. Sorry, let me get rid of that. Thank you, George. Okay. However, there is an issue. And by the way, in Asia, and that's my beef with the Feng Shui industry. In Asia, all these Feng Shui consultants say, oh, I'll build you a house with pearl string combination, with a parent string combination, with a 7-star robbery, blah, 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 blah. But they don't look at layout. Sylvia got it. It does not matter if you have this special combination. It doesn't matter at all. What matters more is how the layout in your home aligns with this energy. Okay? And in fact, even with the pearl string, even with this, in her center is 5-2. And actually what we see, what we look at is really this one. We don't look at the number 8. Health has been an issue. Health and relationship has been an issue. So even with this supposedly special combination of parent string, it still does not mean that you are immune from negative energies in this house, especially with the energy in the center. In my observation, the energy in the center is the most important energy to watch out for because it radiates to the rest of the house. Okay. And now, another thing. Parent string is really, because her house is a period 8 house, meaning she moved in between 2004 and 2024. So this parent string now will actually be null and void once we start period 9 in February 4th of 2024. So should Diana be activating the 528 or even be bothered with this parent string at all? This parent string means nothing, actually. In and of itself, this quote-unquote special formation means nothing to the people living in the house. What is most important is the layout of the house and how that house is actually able to tap into so you look at all the number combinations here and how does that layout is able to maximize the energies of all these numbers, the combination of mountain and water star. That is the proper way. Okay, this is no shortcut. All these special combinations doesn't mean you get a feng shui shortcut. I'm sorry if it's not the question that you were seeking there. Yeah, and you have, Diana just said, I have stairs in the center. And with stairs, it's high. You guys go up and down with that stairs. It's high traffic, high foot traffic. So you're actually activating it even more. I would have moved that stairs elsewhere. Remember, feng shui is not always about putting stuff as well. It's also about usage. So even if a house is completely devoid of any furniture, if you're using a space that has positive feng shui energies, you're still activating it. You're still activating the qi. Okay. And did I mention that for a period 8 house that has the parent string formation, that formation is considered void once we go into period 9. Oh, I did mention that. I forgot. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's go back to next question. Oh, Maria's got a good question. Okay. Do 81 combinations change for period 9? Short answer is no. So going back to this chart here, okay. So going back to this chart, I'm not going to go through what the 41 combination means because I go through that in depth in my certification course. I know you guys are like, oh, all she wants is for us to take the course. But you know what? In all honesty, even if I tell you what they are, you'll be like, but why? why does the combination mean this? Why does it mean that? Why does it bring a certain kind of result? Well, for me to answer the why, I have to go through all the foundational stuff first, right? So it for like combination of 4 and 1, combination of 9 and 6, combination of 2 and 8, all these combinations and what they mean, who they impact, what kind of effects, what kind of health issues, is it auspicious, is health issues and all that, those do not change from period to period. What it does change is the strength of that effect. Okay. So for instance, so the number 7 we mentioned earlier in the live stream, the number 7 is loss, robbery, office politics, right? Those are the major ones. So in other periods, that's the effect that you will see. But once it is in period 5, period 6, period 7, when it becomes timely, then it is less of a loss, less robbery, less office politics. It's just a matter of degree. Okay, so all these numbers, either on its own or as a combination, would have innate characteristics. And that doesn't change. The only change is like battery, right? Is it going to affect you in that period at 100% battery? Or is it going to affect you in that period at like 20%, 25% of the battery? You know what I mean? Just trying to use analogies here. Okay, so that's what it means. Okay, Katarina's got a good question. I'm loving today's questions. How about star 3? I have heard it's not good to have your back, but what about facing? There's advanced flying star, which I'm not going to go into here, but number 3 as a whole is arguments, potential legal entanglements, legal issues, right? Contractual issues, agreements being misconstrued and stuff like that. This one, I'm going to say generally, don't activate the number 3. So either facing the number 3, actually more of facing. So going back to this year's energy, where were we before? Okay. Where is the number 3 energetically for this year? Okay, let me start a brand new page. Where's the number 3 this year? So southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest, north, northeast, and east. Southeast. Okay. So how do I say this without confusing people? Number 3, like I mentioned, generally, in most instances, I would say 95% of the case, I would prefer that you guys don't use it. Either you do not use the southeast room or you do not sit facing southeast. Okay? Doesn't matter if your back is, if you are, if this is a person and you're looking this way, Your back is facing southeast. But where are you facing? What is the energy in the northwest this year? What's the energy in the northwest this year? Number 5. Okay, so here's the deal. Number 3, legal issues, arguments. Okay. What is number 5? General, loss, mishap, illness. So this is the issue with just following one size fits all Feng Shui, right? So Katarina's question was, I was told or I heard I shouldn't be sitting facing number 3. So if or with your back towards the number 3. But if your back is towards the number 3, it's not, this position is not bad because it's facing the it's backing towards the number 3. This position is bad because it is facing the number 5. That's the real reason. Not because the back is at 3. It's your face towards the 5. Okay? Those of you who are not familiar with Flying Star Feng Shui, this is going to be like, woof, a lot. Or you probably won't even, understand, maybe get a little bit more confused. Okay? Which I apologize, but that's part of the reason why real Feng Shui is not as popular as all the lovey-dovey, zen-looking, decluttering, organizing, law of attraction decorating parts of modern Feng Shui. Because those are considered easily digestible, easily implementable. But real Feng Shui, you have to look through all this. However, number 3, and I'm not gonna, for those of you who took my annual training, my Feng Shui 2023 training, you know that there are certain homes that can actually activate the number 3 because that actually activates wealth. If you want to know where, you have to join me in my annual Feng Shui training. I'm not going to go through it here because there's a lot of other stuff that you need to make sure you get right before you even determine if you can activate that number 3 for you. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Cassandra said she's Qua 7. Again, in my school, I tell people, forget everything you know about Qua number. Forget everything, absolutely everything you think you know about Qua number, or the East group and the West group and the 4 good directions and the 4 bad directions. Forget about all that. Because be honest with yourself. Have the results been hit and miss, or maybe more miss than hit, right? So you've been told to face northeast for work this month only. Okay. What is this month? What's the energy this month in the northeast, guys? Okay, so here's the energy for 2023 in the Northeast is 7. And right now, May, so what is so Cassandra, you're saying for May, you're asked to face the Northeast. Is that right? Okay? So this is the energy for 2023. The Northeast has the number 7. This is the energy for May of 2023. The Northeast has the number 8. Okay, starting May 6th, actually. Okay, not quite, but May would be 8. April 20th month change? No, the month changes May 6th for this month. Going into snake month is May 6th. Okay. Now, for those of you who are familiar with Flying Star, what is the element for number 7? What is the element for number 7? I don't know why it's not letting me write. Okay. What is the element for number 8? What's the element for number 8? Earth. Right? So what is the relationship between earth and metal? Earth 8, okay, Earth 8 increases metal 7. And so if you face northeast, yeah, productive cycle. So the earth element produces metal element. So the number 7 actually gets increased. So even though technically 8 is an auspicious number, in this combination, it actually will bring about more loss, more illness, more stress, more mishaps. Okay. So yeah, so for so do you guys are starting to see how it's not simple, right? There's so many different layers to look through, which is why when I get people asking me for consultations, I don't take a lot of clients nowadays. I have my associates help me with that, but even with that, I get people, they weren't. It is an investment to work with me or work with one of my associates. It is an investment, but they balk at the price because they don't understand, and it's not their fault. It's mainstream media's fault. They don't understand the complexity of real feng shui, the layers of information that we have to cross-reference with before we even tell you what to face, where to sleep, what elements to put. And the reason why I'm showing this to you is so that I know for some people you'll give up. And I understand it. You'll give up on feng shui because it's too complicated. But that is the nature of it. It is complicated. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And what I showed here is just the tip of the iceberg. Right? Unfortunately. Okay? And that is why I have big issues with the industry, and especially with the articles and the books that are being pumped out. Okay? It's no good. And even Cassandra, if it's last month, so April's energy if you were facing the number 9, actually that's also illness. You might make money, but then you'll either be really stressed making that money, or you make that money and you lose that money. How many of us have been through that situation, right? Oh my gosh, Safrina, I've never made so much money in my career or in my business, but I keep losing it. My house always has last minute repairs. My car always has last minute repairs. The more money I make, the more I need to pay bills. That was the energy that you triggered by facing Northeast last month, as in April of 2023. Okay. That was it. Oh, there you go. I'm not making this up, you guys. This is where, yeah, tire exploded on me. And actually, so were you hurt? Were you driving when the tire blew? So if you weren't hurt, like you weren't like driving and the tire popped and you swerved and hit something. If it was just, if it's just fixing the tire, fixing the car, let's live life glass half full. If it could have been worse. Yeah, you weren't injured. You didn't swerve and hit anyone. Okay, glass half full. That's how I live my life. I'm always glass half full. Okay, Susan's got a question. From Cassandra's example, I get asked all the time, which is better, Gua direction or flying star? And I mentioned this before, forget everything you think you know about Gua direction. Absolutely everything. The way my grandmaster uses Gua number, you will, good luck trying to find it. You will not find it anywhere, especially in English books. Even in the Chinese Feng Shui books, I don't think you're going to find it. It's our school's secret way. But just like real Feng Shui, right, Cassandra? So what I just did with Cassandra's little situation there is forensic Feng Shui. I didn't coin that term. It's one of my students coined it, and I said, can I use it? Because it's absolutely what it is. It's forensic Feng Shui. We were able to work into the past. But with real flying star knowledge, you can also do Feng Shui forecasting, meaning you work forward. You go into the future to see potential results. Right? And so once you use Gua number the way we use it, and you do forensic Feng Shui or you do Feng Shui forecasting, that is when the hairs will stand on the, yeah. Like it's absolutely mind-blowing. But is it simple? No. Is it nuanced? Very much. Very layered. Okay. So Susan, when you get asked about Gua number, say my teacher said, forget about Gua number, because the way it is presented in the media nowadays is can do more harm than good. Okay, and people are caught unknowingly, and that's my issue with the industry. Okay, yeah. All right, I'm just scrolling up to see if there are any other questions. I thought I saw one earlier. Wendy, you have a good question, but post it in the graduate group. Okay? Because that's just way too much too in depth, I guess, or too advanced to cover in live stream like this. But post it in the graduate group. Okay. Um, okay. So this one. My house faces west to place of the rooster, palace of the rooster, okay? But I'm a rabbit in the year. It is considered an incompatibility. But in the day and month, I'm a snake that gets along with the rooster. Okay. Um, I follow what I'm taught from my grandmaster. The way we look at compatibility with a house is not so much to do, well, it is to do with the year pillar, but not the animal. That's all I can say. There's a calculation that goes into it. Uh, yeah, and that's what we determine to be compatible with you. And it's hard to find a house that is compatible with everyone. It's almost impossible. If you have 5 people in the household, how do you find how do you find a house that has the good facing for everyone, has a good door for everyone? You can't. What you can do is everyone's bed is positioned the best way. Their bedroom door has the best location, right? You have a stove that is placed right. You have a good general door that brings in the most auspicious energy that will be beneficial for everyone in the house, no matter what year they are born. And how do you do that? You go back to Flying Star Feng Shui. Yeah. Or you can actually do Shen Kong Da Gua Feng Shui, but that's even more advanced. Okay, so Inez, just because you are born in the year of the rabbit and your house is facing west, that in and of itself doesn't mean that the house is bad for you. Okay, so you can sleep well on that front. What are your takes on spiral staircase in the center of a house and water features on both sides of an entrance, and how bad you think they are from experience? I've never heard of the term crying eyes, but I guess it can be crying eyes. I guess the door, and then so spiral staircase or staircase, but spiral is more of an issue because it's considered a corkscrew. It looks like a corkscrew. So if that spiral is in the center of the house, it's like you being someone taking a cork screwdriver or whatever, like a wine bottle opener, right, that has the spiral, and jamming it into your heart. So structurally, that's considered an issue. Okay. But the staircase, whether it be spiral or not, and we mentioned earlier with regards to staircase too, if you place the staircase in a spot that has auspicious energy, and you have people going up and down that staircase, you're activating that auspicious energy. Okay. With regards to water feature, so the water feature on both sides of the entrance in and of itself doesn't tell me if it's good or bad. What does tell me is what is the direction that water feature is. So let me see if I can just come up with, okay, where's my pen? Oh, right. Okay, so you have a house, and let's say the front door is here, and you have water feature. Okay. And let's say this is the south, and let's say you put I'm going to use the 24 mountain compass just for the sake of simplicity here, even though our school's demarcation is different, right? So you put the 24 mountain compass, and actually, hold on. Okay, so let's say it's a little off center, Okay, let's say the front door is here, one fountain is here, one fountain is here. And then you put the 24 mountain compass over it. And let's say this is south and this is southwest. Okay. And right now we are in period. Oh, shoot. Right now we are in period 8. Okay. Water placement is very important. For period 8, even for period 9, southwest is called indirect spirit. I'm not going to go into why or what it is. I teach that in the course. Okay. And south is direct spirit. And let's pretend that both these locations have the house money energy. Okay? Let's pretend that south has money energy and the southwest has money energy. And this owner puts a water feature on both the south and the southwest. Okay? This would be a no-no fountain. This would be a good fountain. So just having a fountain on both sides flanking the door in and of itself tells me nothing. It is what is the energy in the house, of the house? Where are the directions of the water feature? Is it direct spirit? Is it indirect spirit? What kind of energy it's actually activating? Because if this house, if there's no, okay, if let's say over here it has the water star 7, okay, let's say it's 9-7 in the southeast for this house. Even though this is an indirect spirit location, this house will actually be triggering loss, robbery, mishaps around money. I'm sharing way more than I should on a live stream, in all honesty. And most of you guys probably will not understand what I just said. But all this will be covered in the course. By the way, do you guys like the tech where I can kind of switch the windows? Full screen and then split screen? All right. Scrolling down to see any more questions. Jackie, no. Don't you guys are not trained. I know you took my Flying Star course, but you're not trained in the way our school uses squad number. I will not use squad number. Okay. Is number 2 becoming more auspicious now or not until 2024? It is already starting to be more auspicious. But if you, I would say, personally, if you have health issues, i.e. me, nothing big, I'm just, with my astrology and my karma, I always seem to have little niggling health stuff, right? So you still need to be careful with activating the number 2, because what is number 2 in Flying Star? Illness, stress. Okay? So you could make money, but then you could lose the money some other way, right? I want to change my front door. Will this make a difference to period 9? No. In my Grandmaster school, changing a home period is more than just changing the door, changing the floor tile or the carpet, or changing 8 tiles on your roof, or doing a big party and then you change the period of your house. No, it's not as simple as that. Okay? There are a few ways you can do it, but they're not easy. One way, you take all your furniture, you move out. All your furniture, your house is empty. You move out, give it 30 days, you come back in. That's a new period. That you know what? I'm just going to share that one because the others are a little complicated. I'm going to get like additional questions on that, so I'm not going to share it. I do talk about it in my annual training and in my certification course. But changing a period just by changing your front door, that's not what we have seen to be effective at all. Okay, it's an expensive and very pain in the butt situation to want to change your period. Okay, usually and expensive. Yeah, and if you have health issues, no, I wouldn't have you facing number 2. Yeah, especially if you are a mother. If you are a mother and you have health issues, you facing number 2, especially, I want to say especially for the first 10 years of period 9, that could get a little bit tricky for you. Okay. Ivana, you're in all caps, so I'm not going to put it on screen because I know some people online do not like things to be in all caps. But your question, put that in the graduate group. Okay? Put that in the graduate group. Yami is asking, is an attached garage or back porch considered part of the house when doing flying stars? It depends. So this has been my own observation. So if it's an attached garage, meaning it has a shared wall with a house, right? A shared wall with a house, and there's no room above the garage, then I would not include it. Even more so if there's no no access from the garage into the house. Even if there's a door from the garage, I usually just skip it. Yeah. Okay. But if the garage is used for more than just storage or parking your car, because some people make it their workshop, some people make it their gym. Nowadays, like if you go on Pinterest, people use the garage for like one of the plant people that I follow on YouTube, she turned her garage into her plant room. So in essence, that garage is now more like a living space, right? Then in that case, even without a room above that garage, I would still include that in the demarcation. Okay. Oh, good question. Is there a difference on which direction the front door opens? Short answer is yes. The longer answer would be, so the follow-up question would be, okay, so how do I determine which direction my door should be opening? Like which direction, right? Should it open to south? Should it open to north, to west, whatever? And what I mean by open, okay, what I mean by open, okay, okay. So let's say this is south, north, west, east. Okay, so when this door actually is facing, for those of you who took my course, what direction is this door facing? What direction is this door facing? West. Because when you're standing here, you open the door, you're looking west. Yeah? Whether or not west is a good door depends on your flying star chart of your house. which is based on the period and the facing of your house. Okay? So if your door, again, let's go back. So let's say if you have, okay, let's say you have a 9-5 at the door, or you have, 9-7 at the door, then the door is going to be activating, it's facing the 5 and 7, or 5 or 7 for that house. So that's not a good facing for that door. So, and there's so much more to it than that. In my course, we talked about and doors in Feng Shui is where the money chi comes through. Do you want a door that is a money door for 20 years? Do you want a door that is money door for 40 years? Do you want a money door for 60 years? Put it in the chat. If you are able to build from scratch, your house from scratch, based on Feng Shui principles, do you want a door that brings you money for 20 years, money for 40 years, or money for 60 years? I think there's a lag in the chat here. Right? Is it just George that wants 60 years money door? Yeah. So in the course, I will show you what's a 60-year money door. I'm surprised I don't get a lot of comments on this. Yeah, especially if it's a house that you're going to build for your kids to inherit, for your grandkids to inherit. You want to make sure it brings money to the people in the house, no matter the quad number. No matter the quad number. For 60 years. To infinity and beyond. Well, it doesn't work that way. Oh, actually, Jennifer, in advanced Feng Shui, in Shenkong Dagua Feng Shui, there are actually doors that are good for all periods. But that is for me to know and for no one to find out just yet, because I'm not teaching a full course on that just yet. Okay? Does it matter if the door swings in or out? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whether it swings into the house or swing away from the house, it still brings in the same chi, the same energy. Is it okay to have garage beneath a master's bedroom? It's absolutely fine. Because your garage still has 3 walls and a door. Right? It's still considered a room. Okay. This is a bit of an advanced question, Hamad. Unless you have a specific situation, you can share it in the graduate group. But just, from a live stream level, if the door location is different than the door direction. Okay, so, all right. So location versus direction. Okay. So Hamad's question, again, I'm going to read it. If the door location is different than the door direction on a floor plan, which of the two energies is more prominent in this case? In this case, they're kind of 50-50. Yeah. If you can have a door that is located in a good area of your house, right? Based on it's in a good location, and then it's facing a good direction, then you're golden. But does that make, so which is why, like, house hunting is hard enough. But when you're house hunting with Feng Shui added in to the equation, it makes house hunting almost impossible. And I tell my clients this, it's almost impossible unless you're willing to renovate. And by renovating, we're talking about the more expensive stuff. Maybe moving a door, maybe adding a door, maybe moving the stove, Those aren't, cheap. Okay. So in the case of your question there, Hamad, it's actually 50-50. But, okay. You know what? My next level answer is actually better done in the graduate group, because then we talk about the 81 combination too. So there's so many factors to consider. Okay. It's almost impossible to have perfect feng shui for a house. If you have a feng shui consultant marketing to you that says it's going to be a house with perfect feng shui, save your money, keep your money, walk away, because that is not a promise any feng shui expert can promise you. Even if the house is good for this period, once the next period rolls around, it's not going to be good. Very likely not going to be good anymore. Okay? Nothing is stagnant. You can make it as best, you can design a house that is as best as possible for you to prepare for this current period and the next period if you want, if you think you're going to stay in the house for more than 20 years. But it's never going to be forever good unless you employ the most advanced feng shui, which is 玄空大卦 feng shui, which not a lot of consultants are trained in. Okay. If your house is facing, hold on. Okay. If your house, wait, why did it change that? Okay. House is facing north. Main earner is rabbit. What color of roof should be? So as much as we want to do feng shui, we also, and I think someone also asked about a color of the walls for the external house, right? The outside of the house. Could you paint your roof 4 different colors? Or paint the external, oh shoot, hold on. Or paint the external walls 4 different colors. A yellow, a blue, a green, a gray. Your contractor is gonna think you're nuts. And we're all living in the real world here, right? We also need to be realistic. What if you need to sell the house? Either you repaint everything a neutral color, or if you keep it in those 4 colors, you're not going to be able to sell the house because they'll be like, this house looks weird. So in terms of the roof, in terms of the external walls, the external walls of the house, just go whatever color you want. In terms of elements and colors that you need, you do it inside the house. It's easier to do because the inside of the house is separated into rooms. Then you can compartmentalize literally the elements and the colors that each room, each direction needs. Okay. And then when it comes time for you to not even just sell the house, you have a party, you have people coming in, it'll look a little less weird. Because that's the issue. That's the issue where a lot of the fast food feng shui information out there makes your house look so unappealing, turns it into like a Chinese restaurant that gives us feng shui enthusiasts a bad name, right? Because it just doesn't look good. And I don't want to live in a place like that, Yeah. Okay, no, not even. Don't split hairs here. Does it help which side the doorknob is on? It doesn't matter. Example, open toward the 9 in your example, mountain energy. No. For doors, we look at water energy. This one. I was told never to buy a house that has a number 4 in the address. Is that accurate? It's a two-part answer, okay? Jennifer, ready for this? If you want to sell the house, then yes, skip the number 4. Because people think they know Feng Shui. They see a number 4 in the house, they say, oh, that house has bad Feng Shui. Let's not buy it simply because there's a number 4 in the house. Because people think they're experts. So you're going to have a hard time selling your house. Not because it's bad Feng Shui, it's because people are misinformed about Feng Shui. Number 4 is considered inauspicious for the Chinese culture. Because the number 4, si, in Mandarin, or say in Cantonese, is very similar sounding to death. So for the Asian community, the number 4 is bad. And if you're trying to sell a house where a good number of the buyers are Asian, I mean, I know it's different now, but back, a few years ago in Toronto, a lot of the buyers were Asians. So if you have the number 4, if you're 14 or 24 or 34 or 44, you're not going to get an Asian seller. Or you're not going to get someone who thinks they know Feng Shui, when actually what they've consumed is nothing more than fast food Feng Shui. For those who know Flying Star Feng Shui, do we like number 4? When used properly, number 4 is actually really good. It's academics, it's creativity, it's romance and relationship. But if it's at a good balance, right? But in Feng Shui, we don't look at house number as well. That's not actual Feng Shui practice. Like, as in like the house, the address of the house. That's numerology. It's not Feng Shui. Okay. Oh, don't sleep on me. Oh, which color is neutral? Light colors. Light beige, light blue, light yellow. Nothing that completely like jumps out at you. Okay. But now you have 20 students that is now certified in Shen Kong Dakwa date selection, Susan. You guys are fully trained in date selection, not fully trained in Feng Shui just yet. I only gave you guys like 10% of the Feng Shui portion. Okay. So don't go marketing yourself to be fully certified in Shen Kong Dakwa Feng Shui. I didn't market it that way. Shen Kong Dakwa date selection, yes. Okay. What do you think about a lake in West area? A lake in West area is a no right off the bat. If southeast location of my home has, let's say, 2-5 permanent energy, can I dig the ground and plant trees outside, right in front of that side of the house? Yes, you can. But if you want to go a step further, it's just to make sure the southeast. So let's say for the month that you want to install a tree, like it depends on how big the tree is. If it's still a sapling, like go ahead. You don't need to like look at the feng shui. But if it's a pretty mature tree, it's a few $100s, a few $1,000s to buy, and you need to dig a big hole because the root ball is huge, then I wouldn't go digging or planting that tree when the southeast, in your example, when the southeast is hit with a month breaker. Okay, so southeast is the astrological palace of the snake, the dragon, and the snake. So I wouldn't, in your situation, in your example, I wouldn't go digging the tree during the months of pig or dog. because then that southeast direction is month breaker or even year breaker. Yeah, because that's the no reno direction, right? Okay. Oh, this is a good one. Going backwards a little, but regarding the initial compass reading, I have tried with my phone compass and I noticed there is an option to use magnetic north or true north. I seem to be getting different reading on my compass. We would be using magnetic north. Yes, we use magnetic north. Yeah, Bree, I'm dropping a lot of carrots. I'm dangling a lot of carrots in front of you, aren't I, Bree? Because I know you signed up for the course in July. You're getting little bits and pieces of what you'll be learning. 4 beautiful days. Yeah. So I thought my client was kind of making things up when she mentioned this, but if you're having issues with your compass, maybe ask someone else use that compass. She said, Safrina, my body just goes weird when I hold a compass. I mean, the needle of the compass goes like really weird when she holds it. And I don't know what's going on with my screen at the back. And she showed it to me, like she holds the compass and the needle just goes like wacky. And yet when she has her neighbor hold it, the needle was still. I have no explanation to that. So I'm like, okay, have your neighbor help you with the compass reading, because obviously your body just goes like affects it somehow. Okay. So so yeah. I do prefer you guys using a proper compass instead of the phone compass. Okay. You can use the phone compass as a backup, as a secondary or a tertiary confirmation, but not as your go-to compass. Okay. If the monthly star is good, but with not good yearly star, is it better to avoid it anyway? Yes. Yes. Unless and until you're trained to see how the annual and the monthly energy combines, I would not activate it. Better be safe than sorry. Okay. Is the certification still available for online? Yes, it is. I know you're in the Philippines, but you won't be the first one. You know, in every class, I have someone from Asia, from Australia, New Zealand. I get European students as well, but it's not as bad. It's 5 hours difference. I know for Asia and the Aussie, New Zealand group, it's a little bit of a tougher situation because you're basically in class throughout the night, but you prepare your body almost like you prepare your body for jet lag. So, but it's available. It's available online. If it's 4 full days, it's July. I don't remember the dates now. It's in July, I believe 20 to 24. Don't quote me. That's what I'm thinking right now. 4 full days. Everything is recorded. You'll get the replays, and after the course is done, you'll have access to my graduate Facebook group where the learning continues. Because, and I get this question all the time, it's a very fair question. Safrina, how much can we learn in 4 days? You learn a lot in terms of the theory and the calculations and the methods. But once you finish the textbook and you go out into the world and you start practicing, you're going to realize, oh, wait a minute, this layout is different. That facing is different. This landform, like what is the facing for this house? Because the landform's a little bit weird. That's where the graduate group is for. And so July 20th to 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, it's 4 days. Yeah. Thank you, Sylvia. Yeah, that's where the learning continues in the Facebook group. I have a lot of people from other schools trying to get into my graduate group, And I declined them because they're not in my school. And they don't have the support from the teachers after the course is done. They're like, okay, you finished the course. Good luck. All the best. And that's not the way I want to do it, because if you do Feng Shui wrong, you could get yourself or the people you're intending to help into big trouble. So, yeah. Okay. I am doing, I do have a simple selection process. Just because you can pay the tuition fee, it is $2,088. Just because you can pay for it doesn't mean you can register for it. I do have some simple questions, and I will be asking for your date of birth to see if you are aligned with me as a student-teacher relationship, if you are aligned with absorbing the information, or even if it's the right timing for you. And I'm not saying this as a marketing ploy. There have been people who have been rejected because it wasn't the right timing. You know, next year, the year after that would be better timing for them for many different reasons. Okay. All right. No other questions. I loved the questions from today. So thank you so much for joining me here. This is not telling me currently how many people. Oh, we have 46 people watching live. That's pretty good. Thank you so much for the time that you have spent with me. And if anyone wants to join me in, if anyone wants more of me, if you're not already sick of me, you can join me. For more information, you can go to fengshuiandprosper.com. Either join me in my, what I call my baby course, which is the annual Feng Shui, where I teach you how to do Feng Shui for the year, this year, 2023, based on your permanent energy. So not everyone does the annual energy the same way. It depends on what is the period and the facing of your home. So you can join me there. The link is in fengshuiandprosper.com. Or if you want to go deep, and even though, in all honesty, this Flying Star course is technically level 1, but when I compare what I teach in level 1 with what other students learn from other schools that teach Flying Star, my students are way ahead of the other schools in terms of what they know, in terms of their knowledge. So it'll take you from beginner to, I'd say, advanced intermediate. And then there's level 2 and then level 3 Feng Shui. But that's in the future. Right now, if you're interested in level 1 with me, July 20th to 23, you can join me live in Toronto. I can take a few people, or you can join me online on Zoom. 4 full days. Just email me at Safrina and at fengshuiandprosper.com. We'll go through the simple selection process, and then we'll see if you will be invited to register. All right. Thanks again for spending your beautiful time with me. And Sen, I know it's like really late for you, or anyone, Danielle, and over in Perth, I know it's really late for you guys. I am so humbled and honored that you guys made time, even if it's during workday for you guys, the rest of you, if it's still daylight for you. I am honored and humbled by the time that you have decided to invest and commit and spend with me. All right, everyone, take care. I'll see you in the next monthly live stream.